fuck them designer fits. I want me like 100K. It's not even Pepsi. It's juice. And that's not our car either, so
I be peeping niggas, watch how I move. I got the drip like juice. I'ma make the pretty hoes choose. Ay, bitch, I'm in my vibe, I'm in my groove. Ay, take notes, I'll show you how to groove. Ay, I'ma mix this Henny with the blue. I'ma tell your bitch to let it loose. Way before we start wearing these masks, y'all was too close. Pac-Man strap, keep that fire like Zuko. And I inked in my face cause I like my space. So if it ain't about no money, get the fuck up out the way. I got some shit to do, my nigga got no time to play. Fuck them designer fits, I need me like 100K. I want my weed loud nigga off that, what he say? Bought a ticket just to fuck her on the holiday. Want me down bad, but that pussy good, so namaste. I need chips like I'm running out of Frito-Lays. I got the juice from the pack, throw it back, tang. All gas, no brakes in her shit, high octane. Ooh, shorty tryna show me where to put it at. Ooh, I'm tryna make a movie, what the fuck we gon' do? She telling me that we could be some business tycoons, so I'ma keep the pussy dripping just like juice. Go dumb, but I ain't no fool. I be peeping niggas, watch how I move. I got the drip like juice. I'ma make the pretty hoes choose. Ay, bitch, I'm in my vibe, I'm in my groove. Ay, take notes, I'll show you how to groove. Ay, I'ma mix this Henny with the blue. Ay, I'ma tell your bitch to let it loose. I got the drip like juice. I got the drip like juice. Watch how I move. Watch how I move. Watch how I move. Watch how I move. Watch how I move.
Yo. Good evening. It's your boy Black. And we're here on a special occasion. We're gonna do something a little different tonight. Let me get the family in here. You seen the thumbnail? Let's look at the thumbnail. The E.B.H. Black Show. I'm producing it. Brought to you by 2020 Podcast LLC. Please say the LLC. We're going to do something like what's love got to do with it. We got 3 couples, 3 stages, and we're going to have a conversation. Tonight. We're going to have a real grown-up conversation. Y'all should definitely already just, when y'all hear this on the playback, go on and just share this, because there's going to be something in here I know is for everybody. As you know, relationships got a bad connotation, so we're going to sit down and see if we can revive relationships, revive love. That's really what it's all about for me. But let me introduce you to my peoples. Let me get y'all off the mute.
I'm going to have to move this here, man.
What's up with the family? We can start with, come over there.
What's good, y'all? Kmarie.
How y'all doing, Marcus?
Great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, down there.
Oh, okay.
You going to me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was doing this.
Okay,
my name's Denae.
Yes.
And I am the heavily orchestrated, never duplicated lyrical symphony known as the Eternal One Eternity, aka Mr. Everlasting Lyrical Assassin. But for this evening, y'all know me as DeAndre.
You feel me?
And
I'm right. You see how they do that?
I ain't got no intro. I'm sir. This action.
All right. Yeah, he is Mr. 2020 Podcast LLC. Please say the LLC. Hey, yeah, and tonight, I know normally y'all see me and Kmarie going at it. She brought the big dog with her, so I'm going to stay in my lane today. You know, but for real though, to jump into this, I want to thank y'all for real for taking y'all time, because I know life is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Every day, stuff is moving fast, and what I ultimately want to do is have conversation about relationships and love. And I admire all three couples. I've met y'all all to a certain degree, so y'all know where the love is, and I hope that y'all can understand why we are getting together and doing this, so we can kind of bridge some gaps. You know what I'm saying? So, Kmarie, Mr. Marcus, you're the married couple. I know, right?
Somebody else, ain't it?
I know, right? I was supposed to fly right by that, you know. Y'all the married couple. Sir and Ashley are the new. They've been a couple, but they newly moved in together. And Denae and DeAndre recently got married. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so, with that being said, I'm gonna go we're gonna go clockwise. You know, when you answer the question. So, how do you define love? Starting with y'all.
That wasn't on the question list.
Oh, I know.
I define love as, I mean, you gotta, it's everything. You have to appreciate love in the noun form and the verb form. I don't know. That's such a hard question to put in the word. As a user of many words, you didn't put that on the list, so I could think about this first. The first question, then he gonna put us on the spot, like my ass hot from being in the hot seat. You know what I'm saying? But love is shown, love is felt, love is done. It's the thought before your own. The thought of them before you, the thought of them, of doing something for them without them having to ask. It's the enjoyment of it all. It's that outside the door. It's, I mean, I don't have enough words to fully define what love is, but I do know that it caters to every sense and to, every part of you, spiritually, emotionally, physically. It's involved in every breath. I mean, that's as best as I can round it out for you. What you got,
man? I don't know, man. It's really.
He should have put it on the list.
He definitely should have put it, especially for the first question.
He tried it.
But
you know what, y'all right. I maybe shouldn't have gave it as the first question, but I was like, before we jump into it, and I thought about it, maybe we should define what we're talking about first, how everybody sees love. Because a lot of people say love have a whole bunch of different meanings. Some people say love is a feeling. Some people say love is an action. Some people might say it's a hybrid. I don't know. So I was like, let's get a baseline of how you define love first before we can go into the perspectives in which you carry yourselves about yourselves.
Man, I definitely feel like it's all of that. Like, it's a feeling, actions. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It's all of it.
Okay. No, it's, you know. All right, so now that I threw them, y'all can get out the hot seat.
Hey. Ooh, my pants. Let me check my ass, baby. My pants seat.
I agree with Kmarie and Marcus a lot. When I think of love, I think of the term I got you, or the phrase I got you, in a sense of things that you may be concerned about or worried about. I'm willing to make adjustments on my end to ensure that you're doing okay. It's like that consideration and the action that I'm going to consider you in the things I do and the things you see and don't see. That's kind of what it is for me. Like, make sure you straight. You know, what about you?
I think that love is a form of acceptance and choice. Like, you need to be able to accept somebody for who they are through all the stages that they become and all the stages that you may or may not agree with. And then also choosing to continue to love that person through their changes. So something like that, you know, and it's also, a feeling, but also you really have to choose to keep loving somebody, in my opinion.
Yes, I like that.
Absolutely.
This couple, they got all the love right now. When you first get married, that's when the love is the most loving of the love. I heard, allegedly. Let's find out.
I kind of agree with everybody else said. To me, love is like that hidden sense. It's almost like that extra sense of, like, you can smell love, you can hear it, you can see it, you can taste it. It's just, sometimes it's just very unspoken. It's just that extra feeling that you just unaware of. It's there. But sometimes you don't even know it.
For me, I think that love is compromise. Love is sacrifice. Love is understanding. Love is communication. I personally, when I think about love, and when I think about how I know I'm in love, is the fact that I see when people are, I see the way that people look at each other. And I recognize the fact that when someone really understands their significant other, that they just click, they just work. A lot of times we see people sometimes and we go, how that work? Well, it's not for us to understand, it's for them to understand. And I think that love cultivates all of those things that have been said before, and then the things that we were able to add. So when I think about love, that's what love is.
It's kind of like that. There's somebody for everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's okay. I see we got mature couples over here. I see. So then my question then becomes, is love enough?
No, because I still gotta like you.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga spinning.
Right.
No, like I think I said that. I said that after we got married. I was like, it's different when somebody loves you, but that like is something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love everybody, but I don't like everybody. I really got to, like, if I fuck with you, I got to like. That like to me is something different. Just like, I'm pretty sure all of us have heard our parents go, I love you, but I don't like you sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I we're supposed to love all, but we don't have the obligation to like everybody. So no, I don't think love is enough.
So is that where that premise of you should always date your partner kind of falls into place? Because you can love somebody for sure, like you said, but liking them, that's what keeps you going. And part of that liking is what you kind of did in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? To kind of, it don't have to raise to the same level, but at least the effort be there, and at least kind of get that exchange, and that kind of gives you like motivation for you to continue to be together. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think that never stop dating. I think that is the key to keeping your relationship alive. I mean, I don't care if you just make time for one another. And that, when I say never stop dating, that's exactly what I'm. You have to make time for one another. A lot of times we get so consumed by work and Kmarie and Marcus's choice. They have children. We don't have any children, so it's easier for us to make time for one another. But I think that even when it comes to making time for your significant other, I don't care if it's a 2-hour movie. You know what I mean? Like, try to schedule that time that you can enjoy one another, because that is important to have with each other. So.
Y'all know me. I don't know. I'm on the fence with this question because in the way that I love you, I feel like my love is enough, because in my love has consideration in it. It has sacrifice in it. It has me holding you down, me holding you up, me, making sure that we're making plans, making sure that we are here, there, and the other. So I do feel like love is enough. And I feel like that in the way that you love me as well. Like you're always going to, put me in the girls first. So in our situation, I do feel like love is enough because of the way that we love each other, the way that I love looks, the way I love feels. So, yes, in our situation, I feel like, yeah, because it makes you want to be that person for the other person. It makes you want to be your best self. It makes you want to rise to the occasion. It makes you want to lay out for that other person. Now, I do definitely feel Denae, though. I still got to like your ass, you know what I mean? But, but my love for you makes me want to like you. You know what I mean? It makes me, in human form, we're always going to make some type of mistake. We're always going to, have moments where we don't see eye to eye, or we react the wrong way, or whatever, and I feel like it brings us, my love for you makes those moments not matter, you know what I mean? So it doesn't affect my like for you, because my love for you is like, all right, look, let's give him this little all right, but that's my nigga though, so let me just go ahead and fuck with him. Oh yeah, I fuck with him, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yes,
I'm crazy.
I definitely feel the same way. I definitely think love is definitely enough. Like no matter what we go through, I always got in the back of my mind that no matter what situation we in, so stupid, I can always get through it with you. Yeah. Like this is my baby, like my dog, like. Anything she need, I got her. So.
Damn.
So we say yes for us,
and that's important though, because I'm not trying to like make a right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? And what I see already is it's important that at least you see eye to eye on the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's where the equally yoked thing comes in, because you guys do see it the same way. You know what I'm saying? And then also that could also be part of the maturation of being married, you know what I'm saying, for a little bit of time, So I can definitely see how all those things really, really would apply. So with that being said, how did y'all meet Kmarie and Marcus, Mr. Marcus?
Yeah.
Well, we met on blackpeoplemeet.com.
I'm done.
No, on the real, we was working together. We both were working at Academy, and that's how we met. So
became friends and kicked it or whatever. Eventually, the doors opened up for us to be able to do what we do. So here we are, many moons later, and there we are.
Gotta be ready.
We always find that we have to say blackpeoplemeet.com, because on the commercial, they were always lying like, oh, it was at a bar mitzvah. Yeah. Oh no, we met in Iceland. Right. We were on the train, and so we vowed that we were gonna be like, blackpeoplemeet.com. That's where
we got the free promotion. How did y'all meet?
Well, he Facebook friended me first. I don't want to say what year, because then y'all gonna be like, God damn.
We've been together for a little while.
Yeah. We've grown, Mind your business. But no, he Facebook friended me first, and then I went to Tuskegee University, TU. I came home for Christmas break. He was working at K Jewelers, and I feel like we conversed a little bit on Facebook, but not like that.
We did, but oddly enough, so we have a mutual friend.
Yeah.
That we both knew from high school.
No, I've known her.
Well, I know you knew her longer than that, but I knew her from high school. And so, me being nosy, her being a mutual friend, I was just like, oh, she's cute. Let me add her. So I added her. Next thing I know, I'm at work one day. I look up, I see our mutual friend. She's in tow. And, you know, like, we just kind of like, we had a couple of conversations on social media, but we didn't really talk a lot. Well, you know, it was just kind of like, hey, what y'all doing later? This is when, you know, we were young and crazy and foolishness and all that good stuff. And we used to throw a lot of house parties. So it was just like, hey, me and my friends, we having a little set up later. Y'all come through. She rolled through, man. And honestly, the rest is just kind of history. We immediately just kind of clicked. And I think that becoming each other's friend first made the relationship stronger. Just because we just had a lot in common. And
not trying either.
We really didn't.
Like, we weren't.
But here we are. So.
Yo, they don't know they had froze for a second, and everybody had like held their breath.
Right.
We saw it.
Okay, wait.
Look, that's why everybody was leaning in, because we was like,
I thought what I had thought was something happened over here, so I was like, maybe everybody heard it.
It started to spin, but that's why we just hesitated for a minute.
Oh,
we were still here.
Did y'all hear us?
That was funny.
Could you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I'm gonna answer the first question, Black. Do I think love is enough? I'm gonna say no. And again, I agree with your point. I think it does have to do with the maturation and the stage of where you guys are. For us, but for me, it's like it's not enough, because I want to not only have those feelings of love, I want to also create that security. I want to create that space where, okay, I don't want her to have to worry about certain things, whether it be like emotionally or financially or just, you know what I'm saying? Did you take the trash out? I don't feel like doing the trash. Oh, I did it already. Like just from the smallest things, because I think all of this kind of ties into a conversation I think me and Buck had like a long time ago about love languages. Everybody's view on love is going to be affected by what their love language is. Mine is acts of service. So I feel like my best way of expressing love is by doing for her and making sure she doesn't have to worry about certain things, or working with her on certain projects she's trying to complete. So do I think love is enough? No, because I want to do that and a little bit more to make her burden a little bit easier. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense. It makes sense. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think love is enough either. I think that you have to continuously show via action, because you can love, like Denae said, you can love all types of people, everybody throughout your day, and not like them still, and choose to stay away from those people.
I don't like niggas now.
But you have to, I believe, love is also just a form of action. You can't just say you love somebody and show through your actions that you don't. And I think people mix it up often, thinking that you can just say it, oh, I love you, and things will be okay. Or say, oh, I love you, and, you know, feel like that's just all that person needs to feel secure within the relationship. Sometimes people need a little more than that. And I think that, at least for me, I need a little bit more than just those 3 words. But yeah. How we met though. So Jeremy has a segment of his podcast called A Business Minute, where he would interview different businesses. I reached out to him to get a business interview back in 2020.
No,
20?
It was
21?
Nah, it was 2020.
2020? I went to get a business interview back in 2020. Did the interview. Good time. And long story short, after the interview, we just kept talking and hanging and vibing. And he was like, yo, you like anime? I like anime. You like nerd stuff? I like nerd stuff. We can be friends. Let's be friends. And I was like, yeah, let's be friends. He lied. Long story short.
I big time hit the okie doke on that ass. But no, when we did the interview, and this is something that it was kind of cool. Like we did the interview, like the interview was starting at like 1, and you didn't leave till like 5.
It was late.
Yeah, so the interview was long over. We just kept talking, and so I was just like, like maybe we can hang out and kick it, and just kept kicking it.
He had nefarious needs the whole time.
Yeah, I knew what I wanted from the jump. I was like, oh yeah, I'm just
got it.
And it worked.
Not tricky.
And it worked.
And it worked.
Right. And that's crazy though, because like you said, the love languages. See, I'm on the fence about the whole love language thing, but I think if used appropriately, it definitely is a great instrument to use in your relationship. So it was pretty good to hear you say that, because I've been on record saying things about love languages, and I don't want people to think that Black don't believe in it. I just think sometimes people misappropriate it. You know what I'm saying? And the whole anime line, I didn't know that worked. That whole anime, hit him with the anime.
Stop the camera.
Yeah. So here we go. Let me ask the questions that I did send though. What do you expect from your mate?
I don't really have an answer, because I didn't really answer the question because he sent it to me, and I didn't answer because, as crazy as it sounds, I don't really expect anything, because I just know what you're gonna do. If that makes sense, it's like I don't expect shit because it's like.
How do you get there?
I don't know.
So for me, support, communication, and trust. I think that when you care for somebody, it doesn't necessarily have to be financially. I think that as long as you two have support, communication, and trust between one another, that the rest can work itself out. And honestly, that's if I had to say what I expect from my partner, that would be it. What I expect from Denae, from my wife, is the support system. Like, she's the first person I want to share good news with. She's the person that I trust enough to be vulnerable with. And I think that if you can't have that, then you probably shouldn't be married. You know what I mean? You have to be able to cultivate your relationship over time. And in addition to those 3 things, I think friendship plays a huge part in it. And it's just like we said earlier, or what she said earlier. You can love a lot of people, and people try to make love singular. And I think that love is more than being singular. But I also think that when you love somebody and you have support, communication, and trust, that it just makes everything else flow very, very well. So.
Gonna say the juice, gonna say that.
Denae really took my answer, because I really don't expect anything from her. I mean, I know she gonna be her, so I mean, it's she always come through for me anytime I need her, so there ain't no expectation. So she basically really reads my mind, because she always has stood down when I need it. So.
I really just expect him to be him. That's really it, because that checks all the boxes, that all the lists. You know what I mean? If he gonna be him, then I know this is gonna be done, this is gonna be done, this is gonna be done. So I kind of resonate with what both he and Denae were saying. And I guess Dre, but what they were saying in knowing what they're gonna do. I just expect you to be, that guy. Just keep being that guy, and that's all I need.
No expectations.
Yo, repeat the question for me, because I want to make sure my answer reflects this.
Oh, I was saying, what do you expect from your partner?
Okay. Pretty much the same thing we kind of agreed on. We agreed that communication would be an open channel, regardless of what we think the other person is going to feel or say. I also expect to be able to be. I hate reusing this word so much, but transparent. Like I don't have to mince words. Like if I feel it raw, I can say it raw. You know what I'm saying? So I expect that. It's really a safe space. Like I could really say some shit really hurt my feelings, and I ain't got to worry about that being thrown in my face. So like creating that emotional safe space is what I expect, because that's what we do for each other.
Right. Pretty much what everybody already said. Just you kind of know who you're dating from the beginning. So if you like the aspects that they have, at least for us, the stuff that he's doing for the most part is the stuff that I want to see him continue to do, and to also continue to be open to communication, like we speak about on a regular, and just constantly just accept the fact that we're both gonna change. And if that's okay, like you can stick through the fact that we're gonna be different next year, in 6 months, probably next week, then I think we'll have we'll continue to have a good understanding of each other. And constantly, we're always redefining our relationship goals. Mm-hmm. So that helps us too. But yeah, that's for the most part. I won't lie, when I first read that on the little list, I was like, that's a trick question. What kind of answer could
she
you
literally wrote
give?
That's a trick question.
Well, because let me see if I was to answer that question myself, because I know this ain't about me. I was thinking sometimes people expect things from their significant other, especially nowadays. They expect them to have a 6-figure job. They expect them to be consistent. They expect them to be a litany of things. We don't need to go on there because that's not even the vibe that we're on. But I'm just saying, people have a lot of expectations, and so I'm like, what do you expect from do you expect them to be loyal? Do you expect them? And one thing I did respect when you say you expect the other person to be themselves. And if you can accept a person for that, I think that might be just the glue to keep it together right there. For me, standing from the outside looking in, listening to what y'all saying. You know what I'm saying? So also that was kind of like a precursor question for this. Dun, dun, dun. How do you define gender roles? Before we go into that, y'all go ahead and like this, heart it, put whatever emoji you want to on it, share it, because everything been going so kumbaya right now, and I love that. But this is a topic, submission and gender roles. I want to go to Kmarie first, but I'm gonna go to the new couple. How do y'all do it?
I knew you was gonna do that shit. I knew it. I said this nigga.
You know me.
All right. Gender roles are just something that society created in order to establish order, to maintain an order of sorts. It's like a template, to be honest with you. Now, how we define them, we're a little bit unorthodox, cuz. We are like, who's suited for the job? Okay, you got it. Like straight up. It'd be some cases where like real nigga shit, when I'm putting shit together, right? Like historically, the man is the guy who put the thing together. You get him the box, the tool, the manual, he put it together. I do that. But I also have this thing where if A and B are not the same size that it says in the manual, I get pissed off. I get real frustrated. And she's really good at stepping in and being like, you know what? Let me take a shot at it, cuz. And it works. It just knowing where your mate is at and being able to kind of, I don't want to say compensate because that sounds like somebody's lacking, but just being able to step in. That's how I define the gender role. It's just a template that society or culture set at that time. But man, we like, all right, who better at it? All right, go off.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I would be straight up lying saying that there's just stuff that I do simply because I'm a female, and there's stuff that I expect him to do simply because he's a male. It's just not like that for us in particular. There's nothing wrong with it for those, if that works for different people's relationships, then do what makes your lifestyle work out. But like you said, if you got the tools necessary for the job, get the job done. And that's all I really care about. Is the job getting done, yes or no?
Yeah, because I like washing dishes. I love washing dishes. I prefer to wash dishes.
And I straight up, I'll refuse. I
don't
like it.
I think that's easy. That's easy work. That's easy work. Let's look at it like this. Hypothetically. Let's say you had to make a fairly important decision, like the room you have right there, right? I see you upgraded. You had the little space, now you got the big space. Hypothetically, let's say you say, I want to turn this into a content creator room. And she says, no, I want to turn it into maybe something in the back of her mind. She want to have a baby. Hypothetically, y'all might not want to have kids. I get that. I'm just saying, hypothetically, let's say if y'all had this, no, let's not use a baby. Let's use something else. Let's say she wants to do something else with the room. Okay. And so how do you determine who's going to be the one who makes the final decision?
So it's funny you say that, because we had a situation where we was thinking about what rooms would be where, and we made sure that we selected a house where we both could have independent rooms, because this is my content creation room, and she does have a work office. We made it a priority where we wouldn't have to make that decision, if that makes sense. So I'm not trying to sidestep the question, but we saw that issue down the line. It was like, how can we circumvent that?
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is put yourself in a situation where you're going to have issues. Like, we both knew that we both needed a space to work. And it wasn't that his work was more important than mine or that mine was more important than his. We just found something that worked for both of us, and we went that route. And sometimes you just got to, see the roadblock ahead. And make it a detour.
I ain't talking about the things that you can avoid. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay. I you know what? Let's play devil's advocate. Let's play the game.
The thing about it is, you gotta understand some nice things, because foresight is important, right? That's great, right? Because you can nip some things in the bud. One thing that I really did like about you guys' situation is that you moved into a new space together. So you created a space together. And so you can kind of move forward that way. But let's just say you couldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? And you're stuck to the hypothetical situation. If y'all had to make a decision, how do you determine who's going to balance the scale?
We did kind of have that situation, because initially when I moved out of my apartment, I moved into his apartment. And if y'all know, Jeremy's apartment is just a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. That's it. And he had already had his little office set up in the kitchen area, and I still needed a space. So I did, made my stuff smaller so that he could, didn't have to sacrifice anything that he wanted for real. But he did have to sacrifice that big dumbass couch he had.
I miss my fucking couch, bro. I miss that, bro. That bitch was so comfortable, bro.
It just wasn't enough room. So we both let go of things in order to make it work.
Right. It was the compromise part. It was like, what could I part with that I could come back into in the future? Like, I just prioritized it. And I was like, yeah, this is a big, stupid ass, dumbass couch I got for the cheap. That's comfortable as a bitch, but having her with me is comfortable too. More comfortable even. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna let this big dumbass couch go.
And I got a couch. I shall bring my couch.
Yeah. And we made it work.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
Sorry.
Shout out to Alicia. She said, are they expectations or preferences? And when I said, I guess that goes to the question when I was asking, what do you expect from a mate? Are they expectations or preferences? That's a thin line right there to advice, because they almost like kind of cross each other. You know what I'm saying? Because a big portion of it though. I don't know. I have to think about that one. That's a good question. Gender role. So over there, it's the compromise thing, right? Right. Where am I at now? Let's see how we do this. Over there. Yeah, over there. Yeah. It's the compromise thing. Okay. I gotta think of a scenario you can't compromise out of, but gender roles. Oh, hold on, y'all muted.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I didn't grow up in a house even seeing gender roles, because my mother, I grew up in a home with a single mother of 4 kids. I'm the only girl. My mom pretty much did everything. And my stepfather came in my life when I was 9. So even then, you know, with having that male figure in the house, I got to see a man doing things, but at the same time, my mother, I don't know. My mom is not the, well, I'm gonna sit back and let you do it type person.
Your mother is headstrong.
Very headstrong.
And that's where you hit.
And that's where I get from. It's like, if I see something, I'm gonna let you say you're gonna do this, cool, but at the same time, if I need it done when I need it done or the way I want it, I'm gonna just do it myself. Like, for example, I think we had a bit of I want to say we had like a clogging in the bathroom one time, and I was like, I'm gonna fix it. He was like, you not fix no damn sink.
I was at work.
I was like, it's not hard. I didn't fix the sink. It's cool. And his dad, I love Pop. Pop was like, now son, if she says she doesn't fix it, let her fix the sink. Basically calling my bluff. I bullshit you now, I fixed it.
Really? That was the advice. If she said she's gonna fix it, let her fix it.
Like, he legit was like,
but his daddy wasn't the person to be like to argue. He was like, if she said she don't do it.
I come from so the way that I grew up, I did grow up in more of a traditional home, if you will, like, but both of my parents worked. Mm-hmm. Both of my parents contributed. The crazy part about thinking about it now is that the age that I'm at now is the age that they were when I was like 10, 11. And it's a lot of stuff that they shielded me from. It's a whole lot that they protected me from. There's a lot of things that I didn't know that we were, quote unquote, struggling. And I'm not talking about like struggle, because I never really had to struggle. But they always make sure that I didn't have to struggle. They made sure that I didn't miss for nothing. If it was a field trip in school, they wanted to make sure that I was able to go. Now, did I get everything that I wanted? Not at all. And a lot of times people go, well, you were a only child growing up. Just because I was an only child don't mean I got everything that I wanted. I can specifically remember when I was probably 12 or 13, my grandfather did a lot for people in the community. And this was my mom's dad before he passed. And I had Christmas time was coming up, and I thought I had found my Christmas gifts from my grandparents, but they were actually for a kid that played baseball with me. And just growing up, watching those roles, knowing that I couldn't just get every single thing that I wanted, made me want to work harder for the things that I couldn't necessarily have handed to me. And watching the way that my dad tried to always make sure that my mom never needed for anything, and likewise the way that my grandfather tried to make sure that my grandmother never needed anything, those are the qualities and the traits that they instilled in me, so that even though I may not always be able to provide the things that I want to for her, I'm going to definitely make sure that home is always taken care of. and I'm gonna be able to provide the things that she needs. Now, does that mean that she can't go out and get it herself? Absolutely not. Because this one here, she a hustler. She a hustler. You know what I mean? There are some things that I'm just like, I'm finna go pay somebody to do that shit because I ain't got time.
Oh yeah.
And this one, she like, why we gonna go spend money? I can fix it myself. And I'm like, bro, I ain't got the time. She like, I do. So I'm like, all right, fine. Look, if you want to do it, you can do it. But with that being said, you know, as much as she's the chef in charge, bro, I love to cook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love to cook. You know, I don't mind washing dishes. I don't mind washing clothes. I don't mind doing any of that kind of stuff. Because ultimately, if it's going to benefit our household and allow us to continue to progress as a home, I'm with it. So yeah.
Like even grilling. Like that was your dad's thing.
Yeah.
I asked you
I let her
about
grill.
that, but you not
I let her do it.
I love
her
grill.
do it. I ain't got the time. She can grill. I'll make the sides. I'm happy. I'm cool. I ain't kidding. I ain't tripping.
Oh boy. Here we go. Kmarie. Gender roles. Gender roles. How do y'all define y'all gender roles?
What you want? Go ahead.
We got gremlins in the back. Well, we don't really have gender roles. We just I'm trying to block the child. She using the pot, so she ain't got no bottoms on. So I'm just trying to flash the. Okay, all right. So tell her hoes all her business. Gender roles. We don't really have gender roles. We just have things that I'm not gonna do and things that he's not gonna do. Everything else is pretty interchangeable, if you will. Like we both cook, we both will do laundry. Now he's not gonna fold no laundry. I'm not gonna take any trash out. I'm also not gonna clean out the refrigerator, old food, things like that. Makes me vomit. So smells and old things, scraping old food gets under my nails. I don't like it. So he's gonna do things like that. I'm going to fold clothes. I'm going to change the bedding because he doesn't like to do those things, but not because he's a man and I'm a woman or whatever. I was raised in a household by a single mother, but with two older brothers, and I didn't have to take out the trash, but I've never liked taking out the trash anyway. So my mom felt like men should always take the trash out, but she'll also take the trash out. So that was just her preference of things, as the young lady had said in the comments. But yeah, we don't have any gender roles. I'm just not doing that, and he's just not doing that, and everything else is pretty much it's whatever. Whatever and whoever. I mean, you know, I'm not taking out no goddamn trash.
Right.
I'm not opening no old ass spaghetti. I'm not open. Do y'all know what y'all ever put spaghetti in there and y'all smell that spaghetti sauce and you put, or greens after they done cooled down and you close but greens after like they a week old, like Thanksgiving, cleaning out Thanksgiving food, bro. I'm good, but they got it.
Old cabbage, old cabbage, bro.
I'm just saying. Cabbage. Oh my! And then we was making cabbage with what's the name in it? So it was real what, baby?
Corned beef.
Corned beef. Look, what? Do you know what that smells like when you leave a little bit of that juice in there? Oh my!
I'm not gonna throw away the whole container.
I'm not gonna eat no more. Like I'm good. So we don't have roles. We just have things. We have Marcus roles and Kmarie roles that we just not gonna do. Okay. It's really a list of don'ts for us.
So okay.
The other one do it.
And I think that's very healthy, because I mean, like, that only makes the job easier. People that want to do it. I get that. I think it's a little bit deeper. Let's go just a little bit deeper. This question is for the media. And when I say this, understand this in the context. I mean, like, your manhood being challenged. I'm not talking about some super ego. I'm talking about the challenging of your manhood. Because let's not
like grabbing a booty.
Let's not be let's not be ignorant to the fact that that's what the gender role. What? That's what the gender role is all about. Let me see.
You didn't hear me? You like when they grab their butt? Like you can't go up and grab their
yeah.
or hump them like this?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. You know what? I'm glad you said that. That's a tangible way to look at it. That in particular. I can't. Don't do that to me. Like, don't do that to me. Like, don't do that to me. So yeah, perfect example. So the testing of the manhood. And I'm not saying even if in the most malicious ways, because you know they find humor out of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? How do you deal with that? Or is it something that you even have to navigate? Let's start with Kmarie, because she seems like she has the most fun with trying to. I'm like, women don't do that to me because I might accidentally elbow you, and then you're gonna be mad.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't do that to him.
She better not.
I don't do that to him. Now, if I, was in the bathroom and I run from the tub and I sprawl out like a flying squirrel and I land on him and I start tickling him, look, that's our business. But I don't have more crap than that. I have plenty of other strange things to do to where I don't have to add those to my list of strange things. Yeah. Okay.
So there is a line somewhere that the men draw.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I draw it right there.
I draw it right there.
Right. And so So is that something that's just understood between the couples? I mean, is that something kind of like you learn the other person and you like, oh, I might not want to test that gangster. But at the same time, I still think that, I'm going to poke the bear still every now and then. Like, how y'all deal with that? I'm just asking. Or you just don't? This was a question for the men, though. Everybody quiet, though.
It's for you, babe.
He already did.
I don't poke no bear.
She said, "What about smacking booty? You know how women do? They come smack you, or they want to
you laughing too,
or they spoon you from behind." What else y'all be doing? I can't think of that right now. But yeah, it was that one. He was talking about.
My brother says if you stick anything in their belly button, then that makes them raise, if you will. What? And so I will admit, now my brother, I do often put my pinky in this belly button because I know that and he also feels like if you poke the belly button too hard, you're gonna go into this.
Oh my goodness.
I used to poke his belly button with foreign objects, but I don't do that to my husband.
Hey, bro, this is a message from the E.B.H. Black Show. Lady, stop doing that. Don't do that, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because like I said, because if I accidentally elbow you and then you say, I'm going to call the police, then now I'm going to jail. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to you see how something so innocent can go so bad so fast?
Oh, okay. Boy.
All right. We're going to spin off of that. So, since, everybody live in cohesion, how do you keep your independence in your relationship? How do you do that me time, that self-love, the healthy self-love, not the self-sabotage that I be hearing, but I'm talking about the self-love for real though, to keep the balance of you? Because a lot of times, and I might make fun of it, but I do understand you wanting to be an individual as a person, you know what I'm saying? And you do want to explore your own thoughts and your own creativity. So I do get that. So how do you do that in healthy ways? How do you guys do that in healthy ways to keep that fresh in your mind, or keep it balanced for you in your relationship?
For me, just as much as we make time for each other, we also make time for ourselves. We have our own sets of friends as well as mutual friends. Truth be told, you know, we're here this evening for this, but most times, like, we make time for each other every Friday. We normally have the same off days. We're off together. We're home together most of the time. So normally we try to always take at least 1 or 2 Saturdays or maybe a Sunday or something like that for each other. Just kind of give each other that space. And I mean, I think it's important to being able to still do the things that you got, because everything that I'm into, she's not into, and vice versa. And I think that keeping those friendships and those relationships abound help maintaining your individuality within your relationship. Like, we can separate, go do our thing, and then we just come back to each other, and it's like, hey, how was your day? It was great. I did this, I did this, I did this. What about you? I did this, I did this, I did this. And it just gives us something to talk about that we already didn't know about one another or have interacted.
Yeah, I agree. I had to learn how to miss him. Like with him traveling, doing shows, whether poetry, music, things of that nature. Long nights of working and things of that nature. Those were the moments I had to, okay, let me do something for myself, or just go hang out with my girls or something. But I like being alone sometimes, if that makes sense. Like, he'll have a show or something on a Saturday. I'm just in the house. I'm cool, because he coming home. We're going to talk about how things went, this and that third. I get my little self-care in the midst of him doing that. Or I'm catching up, taking a nap. But just like I said, we definitely make sure that we have to make time for each other, because that's the only way it's going to work. Not just, I don't have time to do it. You have to make the time to do it, because if you want to do these things, you will make that time to do such. The only one thing I will say as far as keeping your independence is, and he brought it up a while back, I can't do nothing without you. I'm like, what you mean? Also always asking where you at. Say in my skin.
Yeah, that happens. That happens a lot, especially because people are so used to seeing us with each other.
We can't do shit by ourselves.
It's hard for us to actually go do stuff by ourselves, because everybody always asking us where the other party is.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just wanted to come out and have a drink or have a cigar, or, you know what I mean? Like, she could be out of town and she's on a girl's trip, or she's going to do something like that. I don't want to stay in the house.
I get asked where he is.
And she'll ask me, like, hey, what you doing? I don't know, but I'm probably going to be downtown. I'm going to go here, and here. You know what I'm saying? Just.
It's like, we check in, we good.
Yeah, I mean, but.
Mind your business. Damn.
Pretty much. I think people expect you to be together more than you actually are together. So, yeah.
Like, I enjoy, don't get me wrong. And we talked about this about a couple of weeks ago. I thoroughly enjoy his company. Because you got some couples that don't want to be with their significant other all the time. But I thoroughly, because this is my best friend for real. Like, sometimes people kind of forget. They be like, damn, y'all are married because y'all act like kids with each other. I'm like, because we childish, so we can't help that. But I thoroughly enjoy his company. So it's like, yeah, I like being around him all the time. However, I do know I have to have space from him to give him his own space to for his mental capacity and things of that nature. Because it could be some things, even though we communicate very well, sometimes he has to have that mental space to do something on his own, and vice versa. So.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Hey guys. How do we keep our independence? I mean, basically what Denae was saying. We have time for both of them. We have time for ourselves, and we have time that we spend together. We have time that we spend as a family. Even with our oldest child, Sade, we make sure to include her in the family time because she is definitely family to us. But yeah, we just make sure. I think I wear enough hats for me not to be up his butt or whatever. And he has all he asked me for way back when in the beginning was his sports and his sorry, I don't know if that made my screen freeze. It's his sports and, you know, his sports talk, his TV, to be able to watch his movies, and he talks to his boys. They be on conference calls and everything. Like, so he got his time. He has his identity. I have my identity. So I feel like he has Marcus, he has dad, he has husband, you know, a son if he needs to, brother if he needs to, friend if he needs to, you know what I mean? I have the same on my side. So I feel like we pretty balanced, we pretty equal.
I definitely feel like you need the hobby, you know, I always love talking sports or whatnot, and that really wasn't enough for me, so I went and got me a PS5. So I really been diving into that and whatnot lately. So she been saying, "Get your ass off that game."
I was gonna bring that up because you guys are saying some awesome things. I'm just jotting notes down. I'm trying to respect y'all time and everything. But I'm glad you stopped there, because a lot of times women have issues with men in video games, right? And from what I know of you like this generation don't even see men in the fashion that they used to be. You know what I'm saying? As far as when it comes provision and providing and being that man for the family. And you do all those things from where I sit, and even in doing that, that still kind of rub women, well, okay, the wrong way a little bit.
Don't speak for me when I'm here.
No, that's what you just said. That's what you just said.
I said what?
You didn't say it, but it was said.
Huh?
Mark said that he's just like, get your butt off the game, right? What's the fascination about me and getting away on the game? That's my question.
I don't have a problem with him being on the game. I have no qualms about that at all. He can play the game. Grown ass man, he can do what he want to do. This man worked overnight. Do you hear me? Overnight to make sure that this mortgage is paid, the car insurance, this, that, and the other. You know, I pull my weight. Don't worry about what I bring in. You know, but you know what I'm saying? That he can do what he want. However, it just be sometimes that his balance of time does not coincide with my balance of time. And so while I'm like, okay, it's like 4, okay, I need to get this straight and all that stuff in the living room. I need to go ahead and get some dinner on the table. The girls would need to get in the tub. This needs to happen. They need to be in bed by 8 because I got to do this, that, and the other. And so I'm thinking of like this, and then I have something like a photo shoot to edit or something like that. So I'm like in my head, and here and there in the midst of the trouble in the living room playing this game. And I'm in here cleaning this, cleaning that, cleaning that. So it's in that moment that I'm like, nigga, if you don't get your, and so it's these moments like that I don't feel considered in that moment. And I talk shit all day. Like, that's how I don't feel like we argue. We just talk our shit all day. If I got something to say, I say it. If he got something to say, he said, you know, it is what it is. We're going to get through it. All right, then. Well, all right, well, shit. All right, what, nigga? You know what I'm saying? We just go talk our shit. That's just how we are. It doesn't mean we're angry. We're not fighting. We're not arguing. We just getting it off our chest. That's just what it is. So when I be like, get your goddamn, I need some help, please. And after I say to get your goddamn, baby, I just need you to do this, this, and this. That's all I need from you. And then he be like, all right, bet. So then he just do this shit. But we're going to talk our shit and get through it. So I don't feel like it's a problem. But there's sometimes, like I said, in human form, we always go, you know, put us first. I want to do this right now. So this is what my focus is, this, that, and the other. So, I mean, I get like that too. Baby, I done swept up in here. I done did this. I done went ahead and cleaned the kitchen. You wanna throw them shrimp in there, or you what we doing? Oh shit, let me get my ass up. Let me not do this, you know, type of thing. So I don't know. I hope they answer your question, Black.
It does answer my question. Thank you. But what you don't understand, that it'd be like 3rd and 12. You don't understand. It's 3rd and 12. You need that crucial first down right now.
I understand.
But I'm gonna give me a PS5 too, so I can play with you too, Mark.
All right, bro. Whenever you're ready, let me know.
Independence, sir. Independence.
Get that shit up off the floor.
Independence. We don't have a problem like doing stuff separate. Like I give her a heads up notice, like if there's something I'm finna go do. Like not long ago, I went out with some coworkers to go get drinks, and I'm like, hey, on this date at this time, gonna be going out here, and it's like they go off. Same thing with her. Like we'll do certain stuff to make sure like you get that time. Like and because we workaholics, we work all the time because we have our own businesses and other things, so it's real easy for us to lose track of time. So sometimes we do have to remind each other, hey, I know you're working and doing this, but make sure you take time for yourself. Go do something. You know, like you went to your granny house today.
Yeah, we also have to tongue-tied. In the midst of all the stuff that we do throughout our week, we sometimes even have to remind each other to spend time with each other. Because when you're working a 9 to 5 and then you come home to work another business, you get exhausted and all you want to do is be by yourself. I prefer being alone. He prefers being alone. So it's not a challenge for us to find time away from each other. But sometimes we do have to remind each other, hey, yo, I know you've been on TikTok for the last hour. Can we do something? I know you've been on the video game for the last 30 minutes. Can we do something? So we make time to, like, you know, watch a movie together. We, you know, go out and do something outside, hit the park. Every once in a while, I'll be like, hey, yo, let me take you on a date, and we'll do that.
I like that a lot.
And, you know, we just, being alone isn't a hard thing for us because I think that's just our personalities.
We like the introvert thing. Like, because we'll be in the same house, but we'll be on 2 houses in the house, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a problem or nothing. It's just like we're in our zones. You know what I'm saying? And that's a comfort for us. So,
all right, and we'll do a little drive-by kiss here.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
She grabbed my ass
a lot, and I'm gonna keep doing it. Sorry.
She gonna keep doing it too.
Yep.
Hey, whatever works for y'all. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, don't do mine, please. I ain't never been to jail, and I ain't trying to go now. So
sometimes you gotta, you know, just one little.
But you know what? If you can do a drive by and get off and bounce off and spin off, hey, you caught me slipping.
Bro, she quick as fuck, bro.
You call me slipping. I'm not saying I'm not a total prude where I'm gonna go divorce my wife because she's smacking me on the butt. I ain't saying that one. I'm just saying if you so happen to wake up and you tied up somehow, don't get mad at me. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
I'm not doing it to like break any of his like, you know, boundaries. If he ever said that he was just completely uncomfortable with it, he wanted me to stop, I would. But he like it though. So
don't say it like that. It's like, hold up, time out. It's folks watching. Hold up. Let me clean that up.
Let me give you a camera, bro.
Hold up. I like it. It's just I'll be like, all right now. Like you know what I'm saying? It be or I clench really hard. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the clench. Like I clench really hard. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna lie, a couple times I've made a noise. I'm like, like that.
Not the Mike Jack. Not the Mike Jack. Hey,
you ain't never had your hands occupied. Like she really good at catching me with shit in my hands, man.
I can relate. I definitely can relate.
I be washing dishes, you know, the grease and shit, and then just pat, and I'm like, oh, you know, it just. Yeah.
So you know what, and I really, you know, I have a friendship with let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 2/3. I mean, like a real like years and years, and I just met Denae and I've just met Ashley, but I have met them in person, and I got a good sense of who they are or whatever. So friends, you know. I have a friendship, especially with Kay. We always go back and forth. That's like my sister. She got a husband and everything, you know. And so my question is, what are y'all thoughts on opposite sex friendships? And how do you guys view that? And how do you travel along with that? And don't tell me just trust, because I already know it takes big trust. We about that. Whoop, whoop. But give us a little insight on what's a good, healthy way to look at it from your perspective in your relationships. Knew
it was coming to me first.
Knew it.
Well, I don't have a problem with it because her best friend is, you know, PJ and whatnot. You know, he's a man.
Shout out to Holiday Halo City, wing, wing, wing.
And she cool with you, like real cool with you, Black. So I mean, I don't have no problem with it. I mean, it is trust. I mean, I know she ain't gonna do me like that. That'd be unthinkable, you know.
Right.
I mean, I ain't got no problem with it.
I mean, I just feel like there's nothing. People feel like it's taboo for males and females to be close, and some people feel like these friendships make you closer than the spouse is to you. And I don't feel like that's the same, because I know him intimately, and that's not just saying sexually. It's also saying she was tired. Okay, thank you.
Me a minute. Sorry.
But not just sexually, but I know him on a different level than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've known PJ way longer than I've known him. So I feel like it's natural. It's natural for you to have friends of the opposite sex. It's natural, and it be platonic. And you never had anything sexual happen between you. You've never had any lines crossed like that. I feel like that's natural. And I feel like it takes real maturity and knowing who you are, and being in a relationship with someone that has that counterpart that is the opposite sex. I don't know, because I know people that have had this happen, and that's my brother, but then they were fucking. So as long as you have to know who you are, you have to know who the other person is. And I've seen it go both ways. But as for me and my house, we are over this way. And I feel like if your spouse can't talk to your spouse, like Black calls me, he talking to me, he talking to Marcus too. You know what I mean? Same with Holiday. He talking to, I know his wife is, we all one big family. You dig? Not swinging style. We just one big, we're just one big family. I have to clarify for these folks. We're on YouTube, guys. But I feel like there's a level of acceptance, and that it was brought to the table in the forefront. Everybody's point of view was brought to the table. It was discussed. Everybody was on one accord. And from that day forth, it was never questioned again, because this is what we are. This is what we do. This auntie, this uncle, this, that. And that's where it is. And these like my dudes up here, like every guy up here is like my dude. So you know what I mean? I don't feel like there's any intimidation from Denae with me. There's any intimidation from Ashley with me, because I come like this every time. And if you hear any love poem about this one right here, then you already know, nigga, ain't no way. We good over here, locked and loaded. You hear me? So, hopefully that answers your question. I don't know why I didn't do that normal, baby. I don't know why. I'm still.
Yeah, I think it's very much possible. Just like Kay say, like I can go up and literally, I know for a fact I can call Kmarie at any time and be like, oh shit, what up, Mark? Like, and it ain't nothing. It's very much possible, bro. Like as much as we all communicate, I think I believe honestly, it's just where your security lies, bro. Like you have to be secure within yourself to a certain degree. If you don't think it's possible, it's probably due to some hurt, that you haven't addressed yet, whether it was direct or indirect. That's all I got. What about you? What say you?
Yeah, like Kmarie said, like heavy on the maturity. Just be mature about it. A couple of my best friends are male. We about to go hang out with one of them right now. Like as soon as we get out this live. And it's like the relationship you had with your friends before you got into your relationship shouldn't change just because you're in a relationship. If it does, then maybe you should address that. Like that might maybe that is something you should be concerned about. But like it's really unrealistic to say that you can't have platonic relationships with the opposite sex. That don't even make sense with their everyday life. Like you have to be cordial with people, have platonic relationships with all forms of people. And then you don't even have to have the opposite gender to be messing around with somebody. I don't know why the people think
that's true too.
Like that should not be a thing. That should not be your concern.
Ain't nobody safe.
No.
Ain't nobody.
Hey.
All right, because gender fluid is a thing now.
We ain't talking about goddamn boy.
Gender fluid. I agree with what everybody said so far because I also have two male best friends that we've hung out on occasion quite a few times. Like what was it? After Thanksgiving, we went and hung out at my best friend's house with his family after Ireland. Now weekend, it pretty standard. They came to the wedding, things of that nature. He's always had been very close to females that that have nothing but love for me. It's just like you say, it's off the bat respect thing, and for some aspects, it's a boundaries things too. Like if you just I don't know, some people take it too far, but at the same time, to me, they just don't respect your relationship. Point blank. But that doesn't necessarily mean they want your man. I just don't care about the woman you with. But I don't have that issue. I don't think he has that issue.
No, I'll tell you, and I'll make it short. So I've always had more female friends, more women friends than I have had guy friends. Like I kept a very, very small core group of guy friends. And what's even crazier now is that I guess it was always that way because my guy friends were always super busy. And even when we tried to make time to hang out with each other, like we all grown, we all got responsibilities. My best friend, I may see 3-4 times a year, my male best friend, because he's hustling, he's grinding, he's doing his thing. But we cannot see each other for 6 months. And then we call each other and just be like, hey man, what you doing? Let's go grab a beer, and we catch up like it's nothing. Right. I think having opposite sex relationships are important, but they also have to be able to respect your relationship. When we got engaged, and furthermore, when we got married, there were a lot of women that I thought were my friend that apparently weren't my friend because they stopped dealing with me when we got engaged, and furthermore, some of them even when we got married. And it was just kind of like, okay, so you weren't really my friend. You were just here because you felt like you could get something out of me, and now you can't get that out of me. Did it suck for a little bit? Yes. But me knowing that this is my life. This is who I plan on spending the rest of my life with. And this was the important part to me. So if we're going to be friends, you're going to respect what this is. And if you can't respect this, then I just don't have time for it. I mean, that's it.
That's it.
I like that. Okay. So marriage. What in you guys' case, I'm assuming you guys want to get married at some point, sir, right?
I literally just said, "Hey, you trying to get married?" I literally said that. Hilarious.
Okay. So in you guys' case, what are some of the fears of being married when it comes to marriage? And in the event of the other two couples, what were some of your fears going into it, and were they legitimate?
What are my fears when it comes to marriage? I don't want to repeat the mistakes I saw other couples experience. They say, what is it? The smart man learns from his mistakes. The wise man learns from the mistakes of others. I've come through a long line of people who were married, like males, and I've only seen one successful marriage, one out of all of them. It's in my family, I'll say. And as much as that sounds as a negative, it's actually a positive, because a lot of those marriages that ended, they ended amicably. It wasn't like any malice or anything. So my fear is that one day, you grow, like we was talking about earlier. We're changing as it goes along. My fear about marriage is the person that I fell in love with and married here, I'm not compatible with down the line, let's say 15 years. That's the only legitimate fear. Because sometimes people do grow apart. Sometimes the times, circumstances dictate the type of growth that someone will experience. Prime example, let's say career-wise, you reach a new level, and now you're not quite able to spend that quality time. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just you grew in one area and you may not have been able to compensate, So that's the only thing. It's just the fear of not being able to properly adapt. But with that fear doesn't mean that's something that I expect to happen. That's just something that I'm aware of, that I plan to address as soon as I notice it. That's all. What about you, Nico?
Before you sent me that question, I had never really thought about that as like a fear. Me personally, never really saw myself getting married. So I had to really think what would scare me for, and I guess the only thing kind of similar to what you're saying is, for me, it would be divorce, or choosing wrong and then having to get a divorce. I feel like that is going to be the scariest thing for me. But yeah, I never really saw myself getting married. So I guess it was kind of hard for me to pick a fear.
I hear what you're saying. It's hard to pick a fear on something you didn't consider as an option.
Right. And before y'all come for me, I have yet to really see a marriage that I thought I would want to model myself out of, by. At least growing up where I grew up, it always felt like to me that there was only one way to do marriage. And that one way just never vibed with the life I wanted to live. And so to me, it just seemed like marriage was just never going to be an option for me, because I didn't want to do those things. But as I've gotten older and I've experienced multiple marriages, experienced other people's marriages via them, seeing my best friends get married, and experiencing my, I guess the marriages of my great aunties and stuff. I don't know why I never thought they're married. That's weird. But and then also through you guys is marriages like Kmarie and Denae and Buck, and I just feel like I'm starting to see that there are way more than just one way to do it. So now I guess I am more open to thinking about being in one, and then also like the fears of that. Does that make sense, or am I rambling?
No, that makes sense.
I was gonna say that made perfect sense. I didn't really think about the answer to that question. The only thing that came to mind was the end of my parents' marriage. I was probably 6. I don't know what happened per se, because usually people have a reason why they end up breaking up, or multiple reasons, and it just turned into one big thing. And no, my father, I'm sure it was more than one thing. But some people, they break up for a while, but they're able to still at least coexist. Seeing the relationship that my parents have, my mother absolutely can't stand my father, and I do not want to be in a situation where I just cannot absolutely stand the person that I said that I love, and especially gave an oath not only to myself and to him, to God. That's like, that's like I'm taking this back from God. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. That's the biggest thing. Like, I don't want to have that feeling of I just completely don't want shit to do with you or resent you or things of that nature. That's, if I have to choose, that's one of my fear.
So this is where we call back the conversation from the entire podcast that we've been talking. For me, it was losing my individuality. And we kind of talked about this a little bit. A lot of times people get married and they lose their identity. They lose that, like, I'm DeAndre, this is Denae, no, this is wifey, this is hubby. Like, they don't even call each other by their actual names anymore. It is just, oh, I got to check with the husband. Oh, I got to do this with the husband. Oh, I got to check with the wife. Oh, I got to do this for the wife.
My birth certificate.
Like, like, my biggest thing was I felt like I was going to lose myself. And just being honest with you, the changes that I underwent between losing friendships and losing people, or them separating themselves from me because I got engaged or because I got married, that was the fear that I had. And it's important to me to maintain relationships and friendships because I was an only child growing up, because I was such an introvert growing up, that it already takes a lot for me to be able to connect with people. So when I find people that I connect strongly with, I want to maintain and keep those friendships and relationships. And it sucked that I lost a lot of them. But what it did do was create a space and a lane for me to be able to cultivate new friendships and cultivate new relationships and find people who actually respected my marriage and respected my relationship. And it's almost like the people that I thought were my tribe weren't necessarily my tribe, but now my tribe is coming around, and I am becoming friends and business partners and just extending things. And when I started to focus on that life, God started opening more doors for me. Things started to grow. And as much as I was afraid to get married because I was afraid to lose my individual identity, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I love being married. I love it. I absolutely love it. There were times where I was just like, oh, but I'm just being real. There were times like, oh, I gotta, but I mean, honestly, like, there are a ton of things, and I'm being real. I use that as a scapegoat sometimes. Just being honest. That introvert shit, if I don't want to do it, hey man, my wife got something to do.
Oh, facts.
Hey man, my wife got something to do. I can't do it. I already told her I was gonna do this.
That's the perk of being married.
Being real, bro. So yeah.
And it also, just to piggyback on what you said, it also, with you losing people that really wasn't even there for you because you felt like you were going to lose your individuality, it made you, the tribe you do have that was there for us, it got stronger.
That's true.
It got just that strong. Like we really knew who was really riding for us once we got, you know what I'm saying?
We like friends with married couples and like couples with like kids and shit now. Like that didn't really exist prior to. They were just like friends, but like we didn't like have those moments where we were all together. And now we do like head ass shit as couples, and that's the funny part about it. So
you and this head ass
we do head ass shit.
Okay. Kmarie and Marquez. I'm gonna after this question, I'm gonna ask a couple more questions. We're gonna do a rapid question so you can get like just first thoughts out your mind and just say them. And but I want to know what the senior couple says about what was some of their, I want to say, okay, that's why I said fears, but some of, you know, apprehension maybe, or just maybe some thoughts or just some things in the back of your mind that people get cold feet about when it's time to get married. Did you have any of those things, and how did you overcome them, or if it was even a thing?
Okay, I go first. Well, me, I had no fears, no doubts, nothing, zero. Like I knew, like the first month of dating her, I knew I was gonna spend the rest of my life with this person. She's everything that I ever wanted in a woman. I mean, she lets me be me. So stop looking at me like that.
What? He's saying stuff to me. Shit.
What you scratching your neck for? Are you getting all soft and mushy on
it? Mind your business, Black. Mind your business. You just come in like Barry. What you scratching your neck for? Don't worry about over here, okay? Yeah, I didn't have any doubts when it came to Marcus. But I am, I guess, the most different because this is actually my second marriage. I had a starter marriage. So I understand what you're saying, Ashley, when you said that you don't want to, you know, be with the wrong person and end up in a divorce, or Denae saying a horrible divorce and resenting somebody. And it's not so much that I resent my starter husband, because ultimately I have to appreciate the relationship. It was necessary because it had to mold me into the person that I am now. And had I not gone through that, I mean, shit, the tunnels that you have to go through in order to come out the other side of the cocoon, you don't know what that looks like. And mine happened to look like a starter marriage, which had a whole bunch of hell within it. But it showed me ultimately what I didn't want. I was a real yes girl back then. Like the reason I got married was because I was being a yes girl. I was really living out my mom's dreams and what she wanted from me, as opposed to listening to what I needed for myself and wanted for myself. And what a rude awakening it was that I ignored all of those red flags and still went and walked down an aisle that I didn't have anything to decorate, anything to do with decorating, in a dress that I never chose, in a church that I really didn't even want to be married in a church. You know what I mean? So that's just the tip of the iceberg. So in going to this with Marcus, I never doubted that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with Marcus, but I was triggered in losing myself in someone that wasn't good for me. But I knew that he was good for me, so it kind of counteracted that. But still, in the thought process, it takes you back like, damn, oh, this is gravy too. When I change my last name, this nigga gonna start acting crazy, because in the first marriage, I didn't even want to change my last name. And so in this one, my last name was Marie. It is Edwards now. I've added the Edwards onto it. But we had conversation, and he was like, well, why you don't want to change it now? I was like, it's not that I don't want to change my name. It's just this is the first time that I've been me. You know, I'm still your wife. I'm still the mother to your children. I'm still this, and I still have my name. Like, my name means something to me, just like your name means something to you. And so that was just, I won't call it an obstacle, but it was an eye to eye that we had to come to. Which I'd always planned on changing it. I just wasn't like, you know, running down to the courthouse to change it. I wasn't ashamed of it or nothing. But let me tell you something. When I went to a certain wedding, we went to a certain wedding of the Bucks wedding it was. And when they wrote our invitation, they put Mr. and Mrs. Edwards. And boy, you would think that that the guy would have already disclosed everything that he felt about his name being attached to mine, baby. And when I tell you that Buck went, he was just like, see how she was like, I can't wait. The Bucks, that's what we is. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how so. Where he was very hushed previously, it really made him open up.
No.
What? You said that you wanted to have your name, but you weren't like, hey, change your name. I'm not dismissing that you had feelings about it. I'm just saying you weren't like on my neck to change my name until that goddamn day. And then you was like, so when you gonna change your name though? Like, right. And I was like, well, shit, my license about to expire, or whatever. He was like, oh, okay. But if you don't change it now, when you gonna change it? Like, you might as well just go ahead, But don't mind as well mean we ain't jagged edge. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna mind as well do this shit. I need you to know that when I do this shit, like boom, boom, this means something to me too, nigga.
We had a conversation. When we first got married, you said you wanted to be Christina Marie for a while. So I said, that's cool.
Okay, but that don't mean you get deserving my wow. That's what I'm saying. I didn't define what wow was, and you felt like wow should be this, and I felt like wow was wow, nigga.
You know what? The thing about it is,
nigga, when I wanted to change, I was gonna goddamn change. And then here's the thing about me. Let me do it on my own. Like, let it be my idea. Don't make it your idea and then you tell me to do it. It makes me not want to do that shit, right? I was gonna do it. But when you said that I needed to do it, something in me just said,
So
nigga, you like your name, keep your shit. I had to be
Kmarie, what are you holding on to though?
My name is Edwards. I ain't holding on to nothing, Black.
No,
God damn, didn't I say that? Shit, niggas try to kick you while you're down. You do the right thing. They still want to beat you with the stick.
Because you just gave that eloquent reason why you want to do it on your own timing and all that. And I'm just trying to find out what's the motivation or what will be the motivation to change it.
Okay,
because before you answer, because I wrote that question down because I really want to ask them if they get married, if they're going to hyphenate the name. But before I get to that,
low key, I was going to hyphenate it, but I knew that he was going to be like, nigga, what? You did what? I was gonna do it just on Facebook though. I wasn't gonna do it on the going through the legalities of hyphenating your name. It's a real it's real fucked up when you go to other countries. So if you have a passport, you have to get documentation or whatever. That hyphen causes a whole bunch of shit to happen. But that's not why I didn't do it. But I'm just letting y'all know, whoever wants to hyphen your name, it's like a whole lot of people. Do that. It's too much, huh?
They wanted me to do that so bad. I said, "Oh no, I'm dropping this. Out of there."
In my divorce decree, I dropped my last name to where my name was just Christina Marie. Right. I didn't want my sperm donor's name. I didn't want that nigga. I didn't even want that nigga's name in the first place. So I really didn't want that nigga's name on there. And it's not that I didn't want Marcus's last name. It's just that I fucked with my name so heavy. You know what I mean? Like, who else you knew had Christina Marie? Like, I didn't have what? It was me. It was the first time that I was my own person. You know what I mean? I wasn't attached to this. I wasn't attached to that. Everything after creating that, we created babies, we created this, we created that. Like, it didn't matter. I was still me. I was able to be with him. I was able to do this. I was able to do that. So it was a me thing. I mean, shit, why the fuck you want somebody to have your last name? I felt like it was just as important as his last name, my last name. So
no.
But unless I feel like, ultimately I changed my name, so
no. But go ahead, answer the question. What's the question? Getting married, would you Ashley? Would you want to hyphenate your name?
Oh,
I just asked him just now. Like, does that matter to you?
Okay. Before you answer, then, Jeremy, explain why it's important, if it's important to you.
It's not important to me. The reason being is I understand that from an outside looking in, traditionally, it's a mark of, okay, she belongs to him, they belong together, they're a package unit. I get it. But I mean, you're gonna see it, there'll be a physical representation. Our presence will command that standard that, yeah, we are together, in that capacity. And shit, if Ivan and her name gonna fuck up like visas and shit, hey man, we trying to go to Japan. And hey Carl, I'm trying to go to Japan.
I feel like your name being us together. I feel like us being together, man.
He ain't about us being together.
Hey Mark, okay, Mark, tell her, Mark, why is it important to you that the name get dropped? Because I'm on team drop the name. You feel me? I mean, like at the end of the day, go ahead, bro. This ain't about me. Go ahead.
My thing is, I wanted my family to have all of us to have the same name. Like, I just think it would be kind of weird, and for her to be almost an individual per se. And me and my daughters have the same name, and her last name is Marie. That's a whole lot of questions.
Fuck them people.
It's a whole lot of questions.
And I'm an artist, so let's start there. I'm an artist. I have multiple businesses, like so it's not like I'm just out here. You know what I mean? It's marketable.
I ain't trying to hear it. You can brand your name and legally change it,
but it was already branded on my.
And you know what?
So I
can't even be mad at Kmarie, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, like, Buck is actually my mom's maiden name.
Yeah.
Like, my mom and my dad were together forever, but they didn't get married until I was 15, and my mom hyphenated her last name. But at that point, people already knew me by my last name. They call me by my last name to this day. They still call me by my last name. And, at first my dad was kind of like, well, don't you want to go ahead and just make the name? Man, my name is long. My government name is long enough as is, except for my last name.
Yeah.
So it mattered to me that after all this time, like, it'd been different if I had been like 4 or 5 years old. That's a totally different story. I'm 15. 3 more years, I'm out the house. I'm gonna hold on to my name, especially because I was the only child, and I want that legacy to live on. Because truth be told, the Buck side of the family doesn't have a lot of family, but the Bush side of the family had a whole lot of family.
Yeah.
So there are plenty of people that can carry on the last name of Bush. There aren't a lot of people that can carry on the last name of Buck. Literally, in my generation, I was the firstborn grandchild. I'm 37. The closest one next to me is 26. Then 23, and just turned 19.
Yep.
So while we can't carry on that name at the time, I was the only one that looked like they were going to be able to carry on that name for a while. And that's why it mattered to me.
And just like that, but for me, I'm the only girl.
Yeah.
So, I'm the only sibling that doesn't have kids. The Lindsay name out there. Just like you, my name is long enough. So somebody asked me, are you going to drop your middle name and make your last name? And I said, no, I'm dropping my last name. Because I am forever Denae Latrice. It just has a good ring to it. I couldn't see myself taking my middle name away from me because my brother has a nickname for my middle name and he calls me that. So it's like, how can I take that away? Like, that's who I am. I don't know if anybody remember when my nephew came down my aisle to announce me. I meant that shit for the last time. This it. I don't know if my dad felt the way about it. Yeah. But
he shouldn't have.
Out of there.
My simple reason is it just makes it harder to trace the lineage when you start manipulating names and take it from here and going from there. And it's just hard to go back into your history. And we have a hard enough time tracing our history as it is. So that's just my simple reason. So here we go. Cause I want to respect y'all time. Y'all been great. Jeremy, I know you. Jeremy, you like an hour over right now, so I know I really praise you.
You know my time limit.
And y'all trying to go out and everything, so I'm gonna ask these questions real quick.
Wait. You want me to answer or not? Because I ain't answered.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get yours. Get yours in.
My bad, y'all.
No, I want you to get yours in.
Well, first of all, I just learned some new information because I did not know that you could drop your middle name. Or that you had to drop your middle name to abbreviate your last name. I did not know that information, so noted. I'm kind of just now forming ideas and stuff like this. When my best friend got married and she became Taken Jalil Peoples Williams, I judged her so bad because I did not understand why she did that. I was like, your name's stupid, dumb, long. Just take that man's last name. Like, why would you do that? But to her, it made sense because she had already started her career as Peoples, and she didn't want to, just stop that when they got married. She wanted to keep it all together. And to an extent, I kind of agree with Black on this about the lineage, and I think that's one of the reasons why I would be reluctant to like dropping my last name, because Crenshaw is a very unique last name. It has a long lineage, and I can trace us all the way back to like World War I. And so for me, I would like to be able to continue keeping that. And that's most people, that's my family's, my mom's maiden name, So it goes back to my great grandfather. Like, he was Crenshaw, and then we have a huge, just within the city of Mobile, the Crenshaw family is gigantic. And I guess I could drop it just on the fact that it's not like gonna die anytime soon. But I think I will also want to abbreviate it because I just don't want to lose the name Crenshaw. Like, I feel like it holds a little weight in the city, Why not keep it? Why lose it? And I don't feel like it's necessarily okay to say that you want to keep the male's lineage going and not the female's lineage going. Like, you should be okay with keeping both of them.
That makes sense to me. Hey, Marie. All right, here we go. All right. Hold on. All right, here we go. It's gonna be quick questions. All right, first question. Let me see. My first question. Okay, yeah, this one for the ladies. Would you consider yourself a modern woman? Just yes or no?
No.
Huh?
No.
Yeah.
What the hell is a modern woman?
Good answer. Good
What
answer.
is it?
Good answer. Good answer. Okay, well, you gotta ask a modern woman.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I don't exactly from what the internet says. It's just, well, my definition is just a woman who is living in current day society and does things that are reasonable for current day society, like not necessarily being a stay-at-home wife, or having a 2-household income, and not necessarily having kids if they don't want kids. Like a woman that is living in the year 2023, and that's my definition. But people also have their own alternative, mostly negative versions.
You're
as
saying
well.
That wrong.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. All right, this question is for the men. Girls trips, yes or no?
Yes. Please go.
Yeah.
Go.
Shit. Yeah.
Yes. Please go.
Oh, well,
I was
What
shocked.
is she?
I was shocked right there. I was shocked. No to the girls trip. all girl trips gotta be pre-approved through management. Thank you. Cause your boy DJ Envy out there giving 20-day girl trips. What do you do for 20 days? What 20-day girl trips? Come on now. They went from the weekend to the whole month now. What are we doing? Somebody got to put their foot down. No.
He said something to me about that. I was like, first of all, I don't want to go on a trip for 5 days with my friends. I love, mind you, y'all know me. I love my girls' family. All the estrogen in the room. I believe it. I got to see you again today. Oh, that's time to go home.
Yeah, that's a little long. That's a long time.
That's amazing.
Okay, here we go. This is a couple's question. Here we go. This I'm gonna let y'all go first. This is a softball question. Kids or more quick kids?
What?
No more kids
We done.
at all. Zero.
She said, what?
There's two.
Team, fuck them kids,
No
bro.
kid.
Eventually, yes.
But it's always gonna be FTK.
It's always gonna be what?
It's always fuck them kids, but I won't.
Gang, gang.
Gang shit. Real gang shit. Yeah.
I mean, when they get here, I'm still good lucky.
Okay, here we go. What irks you most about your significant other? Don't keep this one soft because y'all got to get off this podcast. I'm gonna be over here. So do a level 1 or a level 2 irk. You feel me? Let's go.
Oh, you messy. You messy. What irks me? Indecisiveness in critical questions sometimes. Like sometimes
I know damn well.
Yo, like sometimes I'll ask a question and she'll ask me the question back. And I'm like, bro, I'm asking you the question. Like that irked me.
Hey, hold on, time out.
Mm.
That's the irk of mine too. Because when that happened to me, I'm like, are you wearing a wire?
Right.
Was the question confusing? What's going on here? Like, so yeah, okay. I'm just saying I can relate to you right there, bro. Oh, here it's your turn. You get your turn.
He wants me to move on his time a lot.
That's fair.
Instead of like giving me a chance to like, sometimes I just want him to like come to me. We can have a conference about this motion that we need to make. He's like, if you're not gonna do it right this very moment, then I'm gonna just go ahead and do it, and then be upset, and then pout all day.
I'm a powder,
and then I'm just like, we could have talked about it before you got here.
I'm a powder.
So yeah,
I'll admit
him just, yeah, that's my biggest irk.
No, I want you to go first.
Repeat the question, yes. What's the thing that what's now?
What irks you? Level 1 or level 2 irk about Buck? What irritates you? Like leave the toilet seat up?
He be Aries and sometimes a little too much. Sometimes the Aries come out and be like, pipe down. It's I don't know. He don't really irk me, but he knows that I don't like when people get loud with me when they're talking, when I'm talking to you, and then you get real passionate. I'm like, we gonna fight.
That's
Like,
me.
so you want to square up is what you're saying, because you talking to me out loud. And he's gotten better with it though.
When I get passionate about something, I get loud about it.
Yeah, he's not.
And it's not
aggressive.
intentional.
He gets passionate, and I'd be like, Tony, I'm talking to you, Mom. I'm just saying, boy, we finna fight. We finna fight.
It's funny listening to Ashley say that. You know, that he wants her to move on his time because if I had to pick one thing, I would say procrastination. But that's the areas in me. I'm pretty much like, hey, like if I ask her to do something and she don't do it right then, and I'm talking about like if I ask her to do something and she'd be like, okay, and then like 15 minutes be to pass by and it was something that would have took her 2 minutes to do, I'm just gonna get up and I'm gonna go do the shit myself.
Yeah, because I get sidetracked really easy. I can't help it. And I'm trying to get better with it. I do know I procrastinate.
So yeah, I would have to say procrastination.
You muted.
They over here coaching each other and shit.
You're on camera. They see you about to hit.
What? Oh, let me put my hand up here. They won't see it coming. They just see it come down.
It really ain't too much. I mean, it hasn't been a day that we've been together that I not want to be around her. But her sense of time always.
I've been way better.
You have. I ain't gonna lie. You've been a lot
Thanks.
better. Your sense of time is always
Trash.
hurt me.
Trash.
I'm talking you have all day and we'll still be late for something. I'm like,
Then I start getting ready early.
start getting ready early.
I had to stop and do 10,000 other things. This happened. And then I'm crunching for time now. When everything was going so smoothly, now I'm crunching for time because I had to stop and do 10,000 things. And you in the goddamn game. I'm playing.
Oh, you playing.
I'm playing. I felt Denae on that passionate. Simmer down now. Simmer down now. But I stand toe to toe, so we're gonna be here. Oh, that's my favorite. What'd you say? Oh, I know he hated, but I was gonna say his goddamn stubbornness, because this Taurus over here, my God, what?
Can't help it. It's in me.
He purposely says words wrong just to get what he used to. I don't give a damn no more. He used to purposely say words wrong just to get under my skin and stand his ground that he wasn't. That's what it is. I don't care. That's what it is. Da-da-da. Like, ooh.
You gonna tell him about the paper towel?
What? Look at Jeremy. I knew Jeremy was going to have that.
I was there for that one.
We don't have to talk about the paper towels, but
No, I want to
once again, I stand toe to toe, nigga. And
about the paper towels.
what?
I feel left out about the paper towel.
All right, so she's saying,
No, don't tell him what I said.
go ahead then. You do it then. You do it. You do it.
On a roll of paper towels, guys, what is a full sheet? Because there are some paper towel rolls and the sheet is like this. And there are some paper towel rolls in which the sheet is like this. Okay.
Oh yeah, I do remember this.
Yeah.
There's some where they're like this. There's some where they're like this. Okay. So if the paper towel rolls come and the sheets are like this, is this a full sheet or is this a full sheet? I'm asking you guys.
I know you are.
Is this a trap? I feel like
I buy the paper towels with the sheets like this. I buy the paper towels with the sheets like this. But I always pull two off at minimum.
Exactly.
I always pull two off.
The full sheet is both is two.
Like, my child is.
Okay.
Like, and let me just be real.
No. Listen to me real quick.
Hold on, wait. I'm just saying because like this gonna piss me off.
It did.
I need one for my hands, and this one gonna be for my mouth. So I mean,
I hear what you said, but this is what I'm saying to him. When you buy a roll of paper towels, and there are sheets that are perforated like this is one sheet of that roll of paper towels. If you buy a roll of paper towels and the sheets are perforated like this is one sheet of that roll of paper towels. He feels that whether it's on this roll or this roll, this only constitutes as a full sheet as a sheet of paper towel. Regardless, I feel like if you get a roll of napkins and the napkins are like this, these napkins, this is a full napkin. If you get them and they're in squares, one of those is a full napkin. I don't feel like the size of the napkin makes it any less of a sheet. So, sheets matter.
But it literally says, choose your size. It wouldn't say that if it was a full sheet.
Do small sheets not matter?
No, they matter, just not as much. All right, here we go.
Kmarie say all sheets matter.
Right. now that we had that
The one
conundrum,
that makes the bed. Let's clarify. All sheets matter. And folds the laundry, mind you.
now that we had a conundrum, this is a couple's answer. 1 to 10. How well do you conflict resolute, with 1 being Ike and Tina and 10 being Cliff and Claire Huxtable?
He might need to do another example. Cliff and Claire.
You should have chosen them. Well, you should have characters, not people.
Yeah, Claire used to tell Cliff ass.
She was the first feminist, but y'all know the perfect, man. Maybe I should have used a different one.
I don't know if there's anybody you can use off television. It's always one more dominant than the other, the way they run
Rainbow and Andre.
Mary and Joseph.
Okay, my wife and kids.
Okay.
Kyle and Jay and Kyle. Jay and Michael Kyle.
So 1 to 10, how well do you feel you guys conflict resolute? Okay, here we go.
Hey, you funny, man. Hey, we had a 10, man.
We actually get past our shit.
I do agree with that, though. No matter what.
Ever go to bed angry.
No, ever go to bed angry.
Yeah, no, I really agree with that.
Same. I feel like it's the same.
I'm not gonna say a 10. I ain't finna even say a 10. I'm gonna say probably about an 8, 8.5, maybe even a 9.
I'm going to bed.
We don't go to bed with unresolved issues, but at the same time, there are some things that we are both just really headstrong on, and we don't necessarily like resolve them. It's just like she speak her piece, I speak my piece, and 20 minutes later, like, you hungry?
Points were made. Yep.
I'm sorry that I thought this way. I'm sorry that I thought this way. And then it washed out, but it ain't happened immediately. It took a little time, but that conflict has just kind of like dissolved itself.
But I feel like respecting each other's opinions and leaving it at that is also resolving the conflict, because you're no longer arguing about it. You just understand your side, you understand your side, and that's it. I feel like that's also resolved.
That's true.
Yeah. And things get brought back up, later on.
Obviously,
and whatnot, so.
Names and shit.
I say we like an 8, 8.5. We don't go to bed angry. I ain't even finna count. Because we had to go to work. We will get together and be like, yo, we'll try to find it because sometimes you need that space to say it a different way. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, like, I'm like Buck sometimes. Sometimes I say shit with a lot of passion, And sometimes it's hard to hear shit when I'm talking in all caps. So like sometimes I might need a break to like throw a comma somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Bring this lowercase. Let me represent it this way. You know what I'm saying? Because we have two different backgrounds. Like as similar as we are very different. We are very different, especially in the way that we handle conflict resolution. So I say we like a 8.5. We are just really good at, okay, let's come back and try a different approach. What say ye?
I say more like a 7.
Damn, I tried.
It's not like 7 in a bad way, like 7 as in there's plenty of room for improvement. I do think that we kind of rely on our introvertedness to like walk away and separate and think about it later. And I think we do that a little too much sometimes. To be honest.
You gonna say that in front of all these
No, it's all good. No, it's all good because I got a question for the men now, and I'm about to come right back to you first. 1 to 10. 1 being old girl from Thin Line and Love and Hate, and 10 being Martin's mama. You know, like my mama made these biscuits. You know, he can confide in his mama, right? The question is, how your significant other, how well of a emotional safe space do you have with her?
Start with me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say a 10. Like this was the first relationship that I've had where I can come to her, express everything that's on my mind, as jumbled and as fucked up as it is, and she just be like, okay, how do you feel? And then we'll go from there. So I literally don't feel like I could like vent and feel like any of that would be used against me. But you like I feel fully comfortable. Because I've talked about some fucked up shit before, and she'd be like, that's either fucked up or slightly funny. So yeah.
If I'm being honest, for a long time I felt maybe like a 6 or a 7. Now I feel like it's closer to a 9. And I say that because I don't think all women can handle the truth. And I underestimated her ability to be able to handle me giving her full on honest truth. But we had a really, really heavy conversation before we got married. You know what I mean? And we just kind of laid everything out on the table, and it just let me know that I could confide in her as a safe space. And the only reason I don't say a 10 is because even now, I feel like I don't ever feel like I have to lie to her about anything. But I'm also cognizant of how well she is going to take something, and I am more cognizant of how something will affect her emotionally. So if it's something that I feel like it's not that pressing, I'll still tell her, but it doesn't have to be like one of those things where it's like, is it really that important? Like, do you really have to say that? You probably did. So I'm gonna let that go. But anything she need to know, I'm gonna talk to her about it. So.
Well, I feel it's a 10 because like this is my best friend. Like I can tell her anything, you know, and not worry about what, or I know she gonna guide me in the right way. Like
that's that look, boy. I tell you, I don't know. All right, here we go.
A 10 on this side. 10s across the board. 10.
Okay, last one or two. Do you guys go through each other's phone? How do you? What's the phone rules?
My bad, I had to unmute. No, I know the code to her phone and her computer. She knows the code to my phone and computer. I ain't got shit to hide.
Yeah, I feel like if I gotta get to the point of checking your phone a lot, we should just break up.
We don't check each other's phones. I mean, we don't swap passcodes and none of that. But at the same time, it's just kind of like I respect her privacy, she respect mine. But we also don't have anything to hide either. You know what I mean? So I've never. There's nothing that's ever happened that just made me be like, give me your phone. That's possessive, and it's
because we share enough.
If you have to go through all of that, then you just probably shouldn't be there.
Right. Your conscience is really fucked up. You have to even go through all of it. It's like, let me just end this.
You're looking crazy.
Yeah, I ain't got no pass code on my shit. If she needs something, she can look at it. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. I do have passcodes on mine because of these sharing, but he got the passcode. He know what all my what's the name is. We ain't got shit to hide. So there's that.
Okay. How important is spirituality or religion, or I don't mean like literally, because I know there's a difference and all that, but a higher being, God. How important is that in your relationship?
I mean, we keep God first, but funny enough, like we are a part of two different religions. Mm-hmm. If you want to put it that way, I grew up Catholic. I'm still Catholic. Holiness.
Yeah, I grew up holiness. One of the things that actually really, really made me interested in him, he asked me out on a church day. He asked me to go to church with him, and no guy I've ever talked to asked me that before. So it was like, he like, Jesus too? What? I like this, but yeah, this we definitely pray together.
Every day.
Like that's very important. One thing we definitely, no one pressured us into it because he's Catholic. No one pressured me into, well, you're gonna get converted or him not being Catholic, because we go to two separate churches and things of that nature. But overall, we still, we have the same things.
We'll go looking crazy again. We definitely have the same beliefs. We're aligned with them. We believe that God is definitely the foundation. We could be doing more things, but we definitely reverence God in our decisions and in the things that we want to build our family on. Among the spirituality, I feel like God is the center of everything that I do. If anything else that is done, I just feel like it's I'm one of his favorites, so he gave me extra stuff to be able to communicate with him through the other people. So, and that's really the only way that I can explain it. So, yeah, and he's seen that firsthand. He believes, so we good over here.
We're like the odd ones. We had this thing where we had a long conversation about this, about spirituality, religion, and everything. We believe it's like multiple paths towards the same end. So we don't believe there's one defined path, because I too, Denae, was holiness, and then church hurt. So I started to look elsewhere, and I went on a journey, a spiritual journey. And I went on an educational journey where I learned about other religions, and I saw how similar all of them are. And I started to see the historical significance of Abraham. So with that being said, we had conversations about it, and we believe that there are multiple ways to that same goal of spiritual enlightenment that we're all perceiving. So we're on the same level. Yeah. We believe it's important.
It's important, but it's also important that we have the space within each other to speak about the concerns we have with it and the differences in our belief systems as well. Because I too grew up initially. I have had multiple denominations of religion given to me throughout my childhood. Started off holiness, then became Kojic, then it was Baptist for a while. So I've experienced it. And then I went to college at Spring Hill, which is Catholic. So I've experienced it all. And it feels, like he said, like they're all saying the same thing for the most part if you stay in Christianity. And and if you look outside of different religions, you can see the how the webs are weaving together in similar ways. So I personally just don't believe that there's one right answer in religion or any one particular faith. Everybody pretty much has the same answer when you really dig down deep.
Nice. Okay. Let me wrap this thing up. All right, married couples. What's the benefit of being married? Let's start with the new couple. New.
Look at this face. I get to see it every day.
That's right.
But no, like I get to kick it with my best friend every day. Like legit. That ain't being sappy. Like this my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
That's so sweet.
No,
I was just glad they stopped taking so much money out my check.
Wait.
Tax break.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. No, for real. Honestly, I used to look at life really, really fast paced. And being married actually made me slow down. It made me appreciate what I had more. And it made me want to be a better man, honestly. Not just for her, but for myself and for the family that we eventually plan to have. It's a lot of stuff that I thought very selfishly on. And since I've gotten married, I don't think with the me mentality. I think about the us mentality. And that's the biggest advantage I can say to being married. Being married changed me for the better.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we've been married for 6 years though, because we was living married life when we had Amaya and we had our children before we got married. That's what he was just saying. But I mean, all them little moments you get to sit with this guy, all those special times, like, and then with the children, it just brings life full circle. Like even when you're a child and you're thinking, oh, mommy and daddy, one day I'm gonna get married and have, this, that, and the other. So seeing it come to fruition is just something that's ultimately beautiful and very rewarding every day that I get to wake up and still be married to this man. I can't say wake up next to him because he works at night, so that would have been a lie for me to say. But every chance I get to breathe the same air as him and to lay next to him and rub his back like I'm doing now, you know what I mean? That's just a whole nother level of reward for life, especially going through that starter marriage that I was talking about and going through so much hell and finally getting some heaven in my life. And it looks like this and it feels like this and this is what it tastes like and its laugh sounds like this. And this is my baby right here. This is my nigga. If he don't get no bigger, if he got bigger, he'd be my bigger nigga. But if he don't get no bigger, that nigga still my nigga. You know what I mean? So, and we attached now. That nigga can't go nowhere. So that's it. Tax break. And you said tax break, but wait till y'all have children.
Big tax break. But I definitely feel what Buck was saying because but actually I had to go through that before we got married because we had our kids and stuff like that. I definitely wanted to be a better man for her and definitely for my kids or whatnot. So, but to me, marriage ain't really. It just almost just like a title. I mean, because like she didn't change. I feel like I didn't change. Like it's basically the same relationship that we had before. So
we just got these and shit.
I love it. So, Jeremy, Ashley, do you have any questions you would like to ask the married couple?
Game was that. So we could have been prepared.
Right. See, this is the crazy part. So we're on camera, but Buck knows. Buck, Marcus, we have those man conversations already. So like, I kind of already have asked them questions. You know what I'm saying? And even with K has come to me and we've started talking. Today we ain't had that chance because you always be busy. Cause I understand you be hustling, goddamn. But we gonna have that talk. But we've had those conversations. Like I'll ask Buck his perspective on like I'll be transparent. Fuck it. Here we go. It was a time where I was irritated with something, and we have a man group. We have a man group section on that. We have a chat. And I submitted it to Buck. I was like, yo, this happened. I may have screenshot a couple of the texts. It was like, yo, am I tripping in thinking this way? And it's been times where he been like, you know what, you my dog, but you were reaching a little bit. You might have felt the way, but I don't see it that way. I kind of see how she saw it this way. And then he'll give me another example. Like, because one thing about this, we're all really close in age, but I'll be honest, emotionally and relationship maturity levels, we're at different levels. Like, that's the purpose of the show. I'm still a baby, so I have a little kid's mindset when it comes to certain things, and everyone else here is able to give me a little bit more of the game. Where I'm unsure on some shit, they've already been through it, so they can give me kind of reassurance when I'm on the right path. And when I fuck it up, they're gonna tell me. They have told me, you know. So yeah, I ain't got no questions for him.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything either. I wasn't prepared to ask a question.
I know I did throw that in there at the last minute, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to it in the event that you did. Just my personal experience with you guys is like not being married and always wanted to be married and have these ideologies. And I go back and forth with my sister Kmarie about, you know, am I tripping here or, you know, and I'm trying to give to women and the whole nine, you know. So I really appreciate you guys really taking the time for just me, you know what I'm saying? So I want to thank y'all personally for doing that, because you guys have like spent valuable time. And so for you, sir, it's awesome to see you take this journey, you know what I'm saying? You know, especially in the time when it's easy to say, hey, what's the purpose of getting married? It's all negative benefits, and it's good to see that you still want that love and you see that in a person and you're taking that journey and you taking that chance. So shout out to you and for doing that, because that takes a lot, you know what I'm saying? And Ashley, in meeting you for the first time, it was almost like you was always around. So that's why I could see you being a good fit for my guy. So I appreciate you for that. But it's a trip because we used to converse a lot, you know, through 2020 podcasts, and straight up dude, and I always like how you handle your business and everything. And then I finally got to meet you and you just gave me complete love, you know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate that. And then I got to meet your wife too, and I can see the reflection of you in your wife. And so that was important to me, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's somebody I can bounce some stuff off of anytime. I could trust his judgment just like I could trust Jeremy's judgment. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you for being the same person online, offline. You feel me? And thank you, Miss Denae, for accepting me for being who I am, because I know, according to Kmarie, I could be, you know, a little troublesome. You know what I'm saying? So you always you was cool with me. You know what I'm saying? You was cool with me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing. So I appreciate you also, because you picked a great guy for sure. I won't doubt that. And my sis Kmarie, she gonna make sure I don't fall too far off the line. You know what I'm saying? And in the relationship that we built from the first time I met her, doing the 2020 podcast through Jeremy, I just like her realness. And then to see Mark, our relationship grow is like That's what it's really all about. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys were saying about the whole, okay, friends, you know, because I have female best friend. Like, why can't we all get along together as a community? Everything has to be always split one way or the other. And then everything just progressively, naturally just was on some man shit. It wasn't no ego driven, wasn't no, that's my wife. You ain't never, and I've always respect your space. I love how you are with the girls. You are a man, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all for doing what y'all do for me as a man, and hopefully people can see this, because this is very important. This was important to me, and I'm pretty sure it was important to these people to give their time. So with that being said, shout yourselves out, because you know we got people that do big things. We don't just talk, we do things. And I'm gonna start with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Yeet.
Yo, it's your boy, Sir, the host, the founder of the 2020 Podcast LLC. Please say the LLC. If you could, do me a favor. I got a website I need you to visit. It's the 2020 Network LLC.com. Again, that's the 2020 Network LLC.com. Go over there, go to the bottom, go ahead, become a sponsor, go ahead, subscribe, go ahead and just give me some feedback. Just tell me what you're thinking. And if you want to see what the schedule's going to be, if you're not sure about when episodes are going to drop, we got a whole content schedule on there, full dates, everything. So if you're not sure when something's going down, you can be damn sure it's on that schedule. So yeah, what you got?
You can also see me you can purchase from me at bossmadeplanners.com. I sell planners and planner accessories. They are handmade. And I plan to also start my own future podcast.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys will.
You want to announce it right now?
Sure. It's called the Noona Podcast. It's going to be long form, and so you'll hear voices on one topic, multiple voices, and we're going to speak about it for maybe like an hour or so. Also, before we go, Denae, please tell me where you got your glasses from. I need them yesterday.
Yeah, she's been talking about them glasses all before.
And Kmarie, I would like you to, if you would, don't mind, give us the right to the phrase starter marriage, because I feel like that would make a great TV series. And I think we should just get, started on that.
Let's sell it to Tyler Perry.
No, we can do it.
First of all, you got to wait in line, because you put the question in there in hyphen starter marriage, because I've been heard her say that. You know what I'm saying? So we might need to do a leasing agreement or something. I don't know. No, so okay, let me see. Let's go with deal.
It's your girl, Miss Pretty, aka the Chef in Charge, the other half of the Midnight Set with D.
Indeed.
We are in the midst of uploading a lot of content. We've been eating a bunch of foods and doing some traveling. So we're gonna be
fat asses.
Hey.
But yeah.
Fat ass shit with my friend. See this the glasses that, you know what? I need to before I promote them, I want a sponsorship because I've been buying it. These are from Zelo, whatever it's called. I'm sending to you, girl. But you see this beanie? It says, I don't know if they can see it. The Team Your Fault merch is coming soon. Like legit. It is coming. It is coming. It is coming. A lot of people ask about it, and I'm very excited about it. Chef in Charge will be running back as soon as I get this license. So stay tuned for some great dishes. A lot.
Midnight Snack with D&D. Y'all can follow us on Instagram at Midnight Snack with D&D. It's a food blog. We're foodies, so we like to do that. Outside of that, I am 1/3 of the South, aka Got Something to Say. We live every Tuesday on Facebook, twitch.tv/the South, YouTube. 1/2 of the Safe Word. We're part of the 2020 Podcast LLC. We just returned for our 4th season. Episode 1 dropped yesterday. So y'all make sure y'all check that out if you are interested in BDSM and kink. It's a podcast of color for people of, it's a podcast for BDSM and kink for people of color. That's what we're focusing on. And other than that, man, 1/8 of Power Lines Poetry. We got events coming up. You can check out powerlinespoetry.com. Our personal website is MrEverlasting.com. Just check all of it out, man. We got merch, we got music, we got a whole bunch of stuff that we just trying to do, and most importantly, we're just trying to keep growing. So, thank y'all for the moment. Thank y'all for y'all time.
Man, yeah, that the 2020 podcast website. I need to be getting on there. I know I didn't miss deadline. I'm that student that missed like the first week and a half of class, you know what I'm saying? Then show up exemplary and all that, you know what I'm saying? That's me. So, because I know some students get dropped in the first, you know, and then I'm gonna have a seat for show. So that'd be me. I'm sorry. So, sir, I'll get back on course. So, Miss Kmarie.
Well, let me go first because she got a whole list of things.
Right.
I just got this one thing really. My gambling podcast on the mark.
Sure.
I will be dropping a lot more content in the future. You know, I'm a gambler. I gamble on everything. I even gamble on women's basketball. I don't play tennis.
I love women's basketball.
But go ahead, baby.
You're so funny. Well, I do have a link tree. It's me, Kmarie. Because it lists all of these things like this. Of course, the 2020 Podcast LLC. Please say the LLC every single time by way of not your typical Tuesday, which it may be on whatever day of the week, whenever I can really balance my hats in order to come on for that. And the Adventures of K and Day, which we will have a couple of guest stars. It involves traveling and blogging and vlogging and doing things like they talking about being booties. We go try different foods, different activities like the ionic pedicures and things like that, massages, the sculpting BBLs and things like that, non-surgical. Also, shout out to Doohickey Craft Tea, all of this jingling that's going on, and Merciless Minds, of course. And I'm also a photographer at Kmarie Photography Fan on both Facebook, Instagram. Also, I am a spiritual advisor. I'm a master Reiki practitioner. I assist with healing and being your best self. That's the best way that I can explain. Reiki is an energy healing. So everything that, like I said, I do is gifted to me from God. And so if that's what you believe, then you believe what I believe. So also, I am a poet, spoken. How you gonna do it like this, son? How you gonna do them like that, son? You know what I mean? So at Kmarie Poetess on both Instagram and on Facebook. I feel like I be forgetting stuff. Oh, I'm also a doula now. So you can check me out for those services. I also make waist beads. So hit me up for those services. It's me, Kmarie. That's the best way to find everything in case I forgot anything. Shout them out. I'm a brand ambassador too. I shout them out all day. You heard me?
Boy, that was like the announcements in church.
I know. I felt like it was the announcements in church. I had my camera going.
First to get my little thing out the way.
It was so much. It was so much.
Answer this real quick, boy.
They're gonna pass the plate one more time. They go definitely pass the plate one more time. Now, I want to thank y'all for coming in, hacking with your boy Black. You know, I learned something today. I learned something from each one of y'all. So, like I said, I want to thank y'all for doing that. And subscribe to the channel, to the 2020 podcast channel. And, you know, that's pretty much it. We love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
I'm sorry. Halo City, wing, wing, wing. Make sure you go like Halo City. It's a collective of producers, songwriters. We record, we do your album cover for you. We set you up with a marketing pack for you to be an artist, all of that jazz. How could I forget? I knew I was going to forget something.
Oh, yeah.
I knew I was going to forget something right there.
Don't forget.
Wing, wing, wing.
Yeah, we can't forget K-Rodix either, his project.
Oh.
Yeah,
you can only say K-Rodix for 2 more weeks, huh?
Yeah, I might want to get that timeless classic already. He gonna go down as light-skinned Key Sweat for real, because he gonna have this prior career that's just gonna submit him to who he is. So he actually might go out being the martyr that he is. So thank y'all for hacking in. Happy birthday, Miss Raina. We love you. We love y'all out there. Nothing y'all can do about it. We out, gang. Hey, shout out to Gang and shout out to Gang in here. They was pretty good for the most part. You know, their kids right
Oh,
here.
our children are ganging here. Yeah, except for when she tried to flash y'all and I had to do this with my head. Remember that? She started running in here. I had to block her. But yeah, they were all right. Yeah, I couldn't hear.
So good night, y'all.